the discussion right now. He was left out of Royal Antwerp's first team for their game at the weekend. They didn't want to risk this big deal for them. Whether or not he comes in and becomes United's number one, we'll wait to see. He's just 23 years of age. Clearly that the Belgian Premier League is a very different beast to the Premier League itself, but clearly United have an issue at the goalkeeper department. Donnarumma was felt as the one that could come in by Manchester United fans anyway and do a job, but clearly that's quite an expensive deal to do. And Kevin Hatchard spoke to us yesterday on Transfer Talk, and he said that Ruben Amorim has been monitoring this player even back when he was at Sporting. So it's clearly a player he likes. It's whether he likes him enough to put him into the first team straight away.
Jeff, what does this mean for Andre Onana? He left out of the 11 again on the weekend. He's fit now. He was on the bench. Do you think his future at Man United is possibly over?
Yeah, it's certainly looking that way. For him to be back fit and not in the starting lineup is a telltale sign. The manager, obviously, they're looking at another keeper. So, yeah, the writing's on the walls a little bit for him.
Feel that way to you?
Feels that way because he missed a lot of pre-season. It would have been really interesting to see where he'd have been if he was fully fit and he was competing with Tom Heaton and Altay Bahindr, whether or not this was always Ruben Amorim's plan, fit or unfit. He would be going into the season with Bahindr as the number one, whilst looking to find another goalkeeper to compete for that position. Andre Onana has been a really disappointing 2 seasons at United. I think there was a lot of hope that he'd come in and the distribution would be good and the goalkeeping would be good, but he cost United in the Champions League in that first season. It was his errors that led them to going out of the Champions League. And last season, whilst there were some impressive moments, still there were constant issues that plagued him throughout his 2 years at United. I don't think Ruben Amorim clearly trusts him. I don't know whether anybody fully trusts Altay Bahindr, but clearly he thinks Bahindr, having trained this season, is a better option than Andre Onana. There's a feeling among some United fans that Tom Heaton, who's there right now, would be a better option than both of them.
But then, if that's the case, if he doesn't trust Onana or Bahindr, then surely you want to go out and get a guy who comes in as the number one, rather than a young guy who comes in to compete.
Yeah, if he doesn't trust the both of them, you're looking for another keeper. And while you're trying to get that other keeper, I'd be with the fans really, and I'd be saying, why not play Tom Heaton? I've personally played with him. I've seen how he prepares for games. He was brilliant for us at Burnley. The saves he'd made, the distribution. So for me, I'd like to see him get a chance, because I think since he's gone there, he's not really had a chance. He's been third choice, second choice, and he's had a fabulous career. So I'd like to see him get a chance, certainly if they don't bring in a keeper.
I think a lot of people thought when Tom Heaton went to Manchester United that it was just about having a nice contract to see out his career and the fact that he'd just be happy to be a senior player. We've seen it at a number of clubs. The likes of Scott Carson has quite enjoyed having that leadership role. But whenever you hear from Tom Heaton, he wants to be playing football and he's frustrated with the lack of minutes. I think he deserves an opportunity. I think he's been so brilliant in the Premier League. He's still got plenty to give. I think he's a reliable set of hands. And I think the United defenders would much rather have Tom Heaton there than maybe the other 2 goalkeepers.
But a lot of Man United fans you'll speak to say we need to get a midfielder as well. We need to get some more quality in midfield. So what should be the priority? Should it be the goalkeeper or a midfielder?
That's a really tough question, just because, like we said there, Tom Heaton is there, and I think he's more than capable to come in and put in great performances. But then again, in midfield as well, I think everyone's saying they need legs, they need more legs in there. And for me, Kobbie Mainoo, he's a rising star. He was brilliant breaking onto the scene, and he's just not really got a chance this season, definitely not. But I don't see why he wouldn't be capable to do the job that everyone's crying out for to be done.
Well, I was going to ask you about outgoings actually, and within that there was an interesting story in The Sun on Kobbie Mainoo.
Yeah, it's a really frustrating situation for Manchester United fans when you see academy graduates potentially depart the football club. Alejandro Garnacho is probably likely to depart, but Kobbie Mainoo is a player who it feels isn't in favour under Ruben Amorim. There were a number of opportunities at the weekend where you thought maybe you could get Mainoo on into midfield, but he's not featured for a single minute so far. And at the back end of last season, we didn't see him a huge amount either. And I think there's an understanding the fact that he's been seen as Bruno Fernandes' deputy rather than a player who can play alongside Bruno Fernandes. Clearly, Bruno Fernandes, unless he suffers an injury or a severe lack in form, he's going to be playing centre midfield for Manchester United. So it does look like United would accept suitable offers or be willing to listen to suitable offers for Kobbie Mainoo, because clearly they're in a situation now where they want to spend even more money, but they're hampered by the bad business in the past and the inability to offload players for good money. We've seen that in this window already. Jadon Sancho, they can't find him a club. Rasmus Højlund, that's not been easy so far. Anthony, who they signed for £80 million, they can't find a suitable offer for him. And this would represent pure profit if Kobbie Mainoo, an academy graduate, was to depart. But it would be with a heavy heart, and it would not be a popular decision amongst United fans.
Guys, thank you very much, but you will be back for Transfer Talk. We're back at 12. Good morning. Transfers returns tomorrow at 9 a.m. Dan Gosling will be our studio guest. As I mentioned, we are back, the three of us, at midday. We'll also speak to the South American football expert, Tim Vickery. And for a full roundup of all of the day's transfer news, the Transfer Show is on today at 4 p.m. Now, for a moment last night, Liverpool fans...
Kobbie Mainoo. Man United exit stance confirmed by David Ornstein. Kobbie Mainoo is officially open to leaving Manchester United this summer after falling out of favour under Ruben Amorim. The 20-year-old enjoyed a prominent role during Erik ten Hag's final full season at Old Trafford. However, his impact has diminished over the past few months, and he has been an unused substitute in both of their opening two Premier League fixtures so far this campaign. Mainoo has been linked with a Man United exit since the start of 2025, amid rumoured interest from both Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur, and reports speculate that he is now exploring the possibility of leaving his boyhood club before the end of transfer deadline day. These reports have now been backed up by football transfer news expert David Ornstein, who has confirmed that Mainoo is open to departing Man United this summer. However, the main issue for the England midfielder is there aren't many options on the market as things stand, and this could block a potential summer move. What has Ruben Amorim said about Kobbie Mainoo? Speaking after Man United's 1-1 draw versus Fulham on Sunday, Amorim admitted, "He's Mainoo fighting for the position now with Bruno, and I changed two midfielders. I let Mason Mount play there because we want to score a goal, and when I changed, I felt the team needed to return to one holding midfielder near Bruno. So he just needs to fight for the position with Bruno, as it should be at Manchester United. Sometimes he's going to play with Bruno, but at the moment, he's fighting and training with Bruno for the position." Mainoo has 2 years remaining on his current contract at Man United, while his estimated transfer value, ETV, stands at €61.1 million, the third highest of any Red Devils player, behind Lenny Yoro and Benjamin Sesko.